Hello everyone, we're back to another episode of some Terraria Stars Above. I realize it's the Stars Above and not just Stars Above. But anyways, let's hop right in. We just made this chrono clock. It is a summon weapon. It summons a fragment of time to... I can't read that. It's still really hard to read. Immunity to slow. It will periodically make a time bubble, which grows over time. And when it comes in contact with an enemy, it pops, dealing damage and additionally exploding in a time pulse. Time pulse deals damage in a large area, increasing damage with the size of the time bubble. It also inflicts some tag damage. Standing within the time bubble will grant elasticity, which increases attack speed and movement speed. This is a pretty good summon weapon, I must say. So it summons this guy here. And then if there's enemy nearby, it'll start doing the time bubble stuff. It doesn't, sadly, I can't target it on any peaceful mobs or the dummy. But luckily the Crimson isn't too far and I can head over there to test this weapon out. Actually, yeah, we'll fight Ike. Okay, never mind. Got two new weapons being tested out on them. So you can see the time bubble. It's not too good against the eye because it doesn't be able to reach its full potential and can't really stay inside its radius, otherwise the eye is going to come over and break it. It does pretty decent damage. Let's see, you can see how much it is. I believe that's 365. Very high damage. It's not the fastest attack, but it's still pretty good. And even if it doesn't hit, it's still a lot of extra attack speed. Even small amounts of attack speed is very beneficial. But yeah, it's a sudden start to the episode, I know. But I guess it is mid-recording, so yeah. It's going down much faster than our previous one. And using melee is definitely better when he's in his second phase, once he keeps dashing towards me. Okay, what's my health this time around? Oh, hopefully I have to test my Selenova in this fight. I don't think I do. Maybe I fight him again. Yep. I also regret my decision of using those R62 now, because later on I do have craft with that, which is interesting. But yeah, let's see if we can get the Stellar Nova off. So pretty much, the Stellar Nova, it summons... Oh, actually I won't spoil it yet. Here it is. Ooh, yeah, no, summons massive sword. Very cool looking. And I didn't do it here for some reason, but I can technically activate it twice in a row, summon two swords. And I can do like a small gap in between. But it lets him summon two swords pretty much. It's pretty good. Just good damage, I believe like 900. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah. But the radius of this thing can go massive. Like, I'm attacking much faster than I would be outside the range, which is pretty good. Pretty nice. Yeah, anyways, let's move on to something cooler. Or just something. I don't know why I keep saying cooler, as if this isn't cool. It is cool. That's an opinion. Anyways. And we're back! Sorry for that little jump scare there. Kind of eerie in a sense. But currently, we are building an arena in the Crimson. So far, the pet's pretty useful. I hate these spiders, there's so many of them. But after a couple seconds, it reaches like 300 damage, it one-shots its spiders. I wish I attacked a bit faster, but I can't complain. It's not the most reliable summon in the world, but it can help. It's not bad. So, I like it. It's relatively useful. But yeah, my day's been pretty good. Just gonna yap a bit like I always do. Got a new car. Very nice. Got Tesla. Not the... Well, I'm not gonna say any personal opinions. Politics there. But, yeah, got a new car. It's pretty nice. Self-driving. Ever since I was young, I love self-driving. Because I also did not want to drive. Because when I was young, I was like, I'm just gonna walk everywhere. Very unrealistic, but I was young and did not want to drive. I always thought it was scary. I also had like my permit for so long before actually getting my license. Anyways, that's beyond the point. But yeah, new car, pretty cool. And what was the other thing? Oh, if y'all ever heard of Molly Tea, it's really good. It's like the biggest tea place in China, and they have some stores down here. And yeah, it's actually really good. I got the white champaka oolong milk tea. Really nice. It's more on the pricier side, personally, but it's worth the quality. I wouldn't. It's not an everyday sort of thing though, or like an every week sort of thing. Maybe like once a year. Maybe it's not that expensive. My drink was what, $7 for a relatively sized drink, but it's nice, really nice, very fast. They got that out very quickly, which is that's always welcome. $568 damage is absurd. Get a campfire set up. Go break one of the orbs and then we can fight the Brain of Cthulhu. I was about to say eye for some reason. Nope, not the eye, just the brain. I wish I had some sticky bombs here. Sticky bombs would be so much more useful because I can't mine this yet. And it's a little annoying placing bombs. You have to like kill them in a certain way and whatnot. Like here, just barely in that top section now. I believe I can reach with my hammer, yep. Though I might use a bomb and then one back so I have some delay before starting the fight. Attempt to fight. Oh, I guess I don't. Well, it's fine, I make it back to the arena. But yeah, time for our fourth boss fight. Brain of Cthulhu. Get the ultimate off. Nova. I believe once we reach a certain milestone or boss progression, we unlock some more Novas, which you'll see later on. There's also prisms, stellar prisms. You can put up to 3 on a Nova at a time. Next time I have the screen open, I'll show you it. Oh, actually, I'll probably I believe I get some prisms in later part of this recording. So I'll show you what that does. Pretty much you can get a set bonus. Like, if you have all 3, you get a set bonus. And then each of them have their individual stats. Like, crit damage, energy cost, effect duration. Yeah, I'm about to die here because these flipping spiders. I don't know why, dude. They're everywhere. Like, you think mob spawns would go down when the boss spawns in, but nope. And then second phase. I've never been good at the second phase. This is why I'm more of a corruption guy. But I probably should have been corruption. Probably would have enjoyed it a bit more. But it's not terrible. Usually the way to do it is when you go up and down, either it comes closer or farther away from you. Up and down, left or right. It goes closer, up and down, left or right from you. However, I always go in one direction, it gets so close, and then I can't move anymore. So, it's a little annoying, but failed that attempt. Let's move on to our second attempt. And we're about to start our second fight. Just gotta break this last heart. What we did over that pause, over the short cut, was we actually fought the Goblin Army. So, we can get the Goblin Tinkerer soon, as you can see from my accessories. I really need some combining. Also went to some more Sky Islands, finally got the blue horseshoe balloon, which I hope will be more useful in this fight, with jump height compared to a double jump. I don't think it actually mattered too much, but yeah, I also blocked off all the different pathways so no spiders wander into our arena. Because they don't spawn if they're on the screen, usually they spawn off screen or in the dark, so everything's lit up, and the off screen is out of the way. So now we can try this fight one more time. So far, doing good. Full health, we also bought potions this time. Which I don't know why I didn't the first time. Yeah, but if you guys would like to... Okay, so, for the boss fights, for the modded ones, luckily I can like actually talk about stuff, because I know what the attacks are going to be. Here it's a bit more chaotic, but I guess I can like say what the attacks are. Would you guys rather I talk over the boss fights and explain everything that's happening, or be more silent and you just enjoy a boss fight? Because usually, I assume you'd be talking if you were to do this normally, and if you were to lock in, you would not talk. However, since it's a voiceover, I can't really do that per se. So, whatever you guys think. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna keep it as it is. Either I'm just talking about some random stuff, or I'm actually talking about the boss fight. Anyways, I do better in this attempt. Better movement, I use my dash better. But usually, it's actually better not to move, because he spawns a good bit far away. So trying to stand still, or like just moving a little bit, is actually a better effective strategy for like dodging his movements in his second phase. Yeah, we beat our next boss, which means another treasure bag and another essence. Or 2, or 3, or 4. Going to do a mask. Heart of confusion. Glad you're taking that evil-looking fiend.
Something to bolster our offense.
Range type rocket launcher. Ooh, with a melee counterpart.
A well-appreciated boost.
Essence with both melee and ranged properties. Okay, so 2 melee range. Another powerful essence of melee weapon. Execute foes. Don't underestimate it. And a summon type that grows in strength with the more minion summons. Ah, it's nothing. Okay. We got 4 essences: the Takonomicon, the Shockanaw, Wolfsbane, and the Ashen Ambition. Very neat.
Did something come up?
Also, a new thing here, which I cannot read that. Let me move this over to my other tab. Swapping weapons. Oh, swapping weapons give me 15% more damage for 3 seconds. But if I swap to a weapon of a different type, like melee to ranged, it does 45% increased damage. It's pretty good for 3 seconds. You can see I'm doing like 28, 24, 30 damage with this one. Then I'm gonna swap. Okay, I didn't swap back because I had to be on something else to swap to the weapon. So, on there, and now cooldown's off. If I swap over to my magic, 38, 35, 40. So yeah, significant damage improvement, especially when you're using different types of weapons. So I say that's pretty good, and it's not like I maxed out on slots for my stellar array. But yeah, let's see what these new recipes have for us. So the Takonomicon, Ashen Ambition, Wolfsbane, and Shockanaw. Pretty good. There's a lot of weapons in this mod, more than I thought there would be. Because I thought, oh, 1 weapon per boss, but no, you get multiple. It doesn't even have to be a boss. Yeah. Takonomicon. This one, I sadly do not get for a while. So I probably won't cover it too much. But, pretty much, it summons Void Octopi to attack with homing lasers. And then right click to do an Eldritch Blast. And then you can also have an Abyssal Gauge that fills up over time with damage. And then when it is full, you have Ancient One Summoning, which will awaken when this weapon is held. It will cause magical portals to surround the nearest foe, and then tentacles will strike in doing Shadow Flame and damage. And then for each Void Octopi, it increases the damage of that, and the Eldritch Blast. This one's a bit harder to craft since you need black ink and books. Books are only per skeleton. They only come in the dungeon or by a wizard. And then black ink is rare because you need to kill squids. And it's kind of hard finding squids, because they're a low chance of spawning in the ocean. Then we have the Ashen Ambition. This one's a melee weapon. Pretty much, it attacks, pierce foes. It's kind of like, it's not like a whip, but it feels like a whip in a sense. But it is melee. right click to disappear. So action execution. Pretty much you disappear and then you right click on an enemy that you can execute, which as long as they have health below the weapon's base damage times 5. So 22 I believe that says. Well, times 5. So if they have less than 100 health pretty much. I can right click them, teleport to them, execute them, and then I get a stack of Call of the Void, which reduces the cooldown of the execution to 2 seconds and instead of 1 minute, and I can do it again up to 5 times. And once I do it 5 times, then instead of waiting a whole minute to do it again, I only have to wait 10 seconds to do it again. So it's pretty good. You can like chain combos. Won't be as good against bosses because you can't execute them. But against like a lot of enemies, you can just teleport everywhere around the screen. Ooh, that would be really good in the Goblin's Army. And when you have Call of the Void stacks, it increases damage. Or speed, movement speed. Wolfsbane. This is the ranged melee. Pretty much, it's a gun. It's a normal gun. It shoots bullets. And right click to fire a pulse impact, which does more damage. And it's critical. And it does an explosion. And you get Wolf Pulse. This bar over time fills up with damage when you do it with both of the weapons. And once you fill it up, you can consume 50% of it to do the Wolf's Bane, which is a melee attack that unleashes a powerful shockwave, dealing 220% damage to guaranteed crit, and damage is halved after every pierce. So pretty good pierce, and it'll do less after each pierce, but it's pretty good damage. Also, when you get it, you also get Wrath, which is a 10% increase to damage, which is pretty useful, or 10 or 15%. Yeah. Also, aspected damage, I'm not too keen on yet, because I didn't understand how it works, but once I eventually use it, I'll explain it later. Shock and Awe. This is a rocket launcher. Shoots rockets that do heavy knockback, pretty good damage, pretty high damage, pretty decent attack speed. Never mind, it's extremely slow. Doesn't feel that slow. But anyways, it does direct hits on airborne foes will do a guaranteed crit. Then we also have Death from Above. Once you use it to launch yourself, it does like 5% of your max HP. And then defense also counters that, so it's really only 1 damage, which is pretty nice. So it does 1 damage, it can launch you and give you Death from Above, which increases non-crit damage and crit damage. Yeah. And then once you have Death from the Above, you can swing the Bargain Gardener to do even more damage, but you can just use it by itself. So it's pretty similar to the Wolfsbane, but it's a rocket launcher and the melee is not as good, but it has more movement base because you can launch yourself with it. Yeah. So we aren't able to craft the other two, and spoilers, I'm not able to craft them for a long time because I just don't get those resources, but we will be using the Shock and Awe and Wolfsbane quite a lot. So let's test these weapons out. Okay, pretty basic bullet, good damage, attacks fast, you can see the bar filling up. Pretty nice explosion there. And then my melee ability, pretty good cooldown on that too. Boom. That's some good damage. 90, 120 there. Fills up pretty fast, and then you can just like use the things over and over. But yeah, no, this weapon is very nice to use. Yeah, 90 to 100 damage, and it's guaranteed crit, so it always does double of its increased damage. So it's a pretty good overall weapon. Just trying to get these weapons out the way before we do a cut. Do a lot of reading here. I'd rather just test it out. Anyways, there's the explosion. Really good damage, as you saw. It doesn't do much damage to me. It attacks pretty fast, despite what it says extremely slow speed. I finally lowered the sound because it is a bit loud, hearing the explosion every single time. But, as you can see, pretty good launching capability. Like if I get too close to an enemy, I just launch away from them. It's not as good as a Quick Spin 2-step in its movement capabilities, but it's still pretty good. It only does 1 damage, which isn't much, and it heals like instantly. It's 1 damage. Like, come on. But yeah, pretty decent movement when it works up close, unlike the Quick Spin. But Quick Spin, like you could, if you're skillful enough, you can combo them together. It's kind of hard for me, but yeah. Also, the Quick Spin does have a downside of like, say if you use it and it doesn't pull you that far, and then you use it again, since now that you're ahead of where you place the yo-yo, you get shot backwards. So you have to be a bit careful in how you use it and a bit like conscious of making sure you're not over spamming the ability, which I am not conscious about. Because like, I'm not using it in fights, I'm just using it to move around. But yeah, pretty decent. I tried to get that one ability off. Boom, 150 damage, pretty good. The melee weapon itself is kind of small, so it's not like, it's not too important, but the explosion is great. The rocket launcher part of it, very nice. You don't really get rocket launchers this early. Stellar Nova, let's see if I use it at the dummy. But yeah, you can bounce off enemies, and do the attacks. 189 there, 195.
I am not about to stop you.
And this one does, yeah, 218. Okay, not 900 damage like I was saying before, but 200 is still decent. Stellar Novas don't seem as impactful as you would think they are. They fill up kind of slowly for just a little bit extra damage. Hopefully the later ones are slightly better and have more effect-based features instead of damage-based features, because the damage does not seem to be too high. Because like a couple shots of this is the equivalent to what that just did. So, it's okay. But yeah, let's move on to something more exciting, because we're already 23 minutes. How are we at 23 minutes right now? I don't know. Anyways, and we're back. Pretty big cut there, around 40 minutes. We went to the desert, did some mining, looked for an extractor, I believe. We went to some of the planets and just checked out some of them again. We did no more bosses, just mainly exploring and mining, and we are almost done with our elevator. Finally.
What is this place?
What is this place? My reaction exactly. We also got a molten forge from over on the left side of hell. We were in the jungle, made it to the bottom, and well, kind of easy to get down to the underground. Here I make up a wall so none of this lava overflows, because there was quite a lava following me down. And yeah, the new biome, which I forgot the name of already. What's it called? Let me search it up, because I completely forgot. The Neon Veil. So, some new enemies here, and a really cool thing. Down here, it has a reflection of everything above. It looks so cool. It's actually okay, I leave as soon as the... Yeah, Traveling Merchant has 2 weapons that I need later on for crafts. And, well, he doesn't spawn all too often. So, yeah. But we do explore the Neon Veil a bit. Let's see. Nothing good, sadly. I just grabbed a stopwatch because I didn't believe I have it before. Other than that, really not too much. You might think I have quite a lot of inventory. I agree, it kind of fills up how much stuff I can hold. I really should get a floating piggy bank from the Blood Moon. That'll give me some more storage. But at the time that I'm editing this video, I've progressed a good bit from this point. So I'm probably not going to do that, because I'm lazy. Anyways, back to the Neon Veil. Yeah, I did not have the rope all the way down yet at this time, because I just finished. Yeah. You know you're getting close to the bottom when you can actually hear the placing sounds of the rope. There we go. And we're back. Neon Veil. Quite a lot of lava filled up here. I'm glad I made that border really tall. Otherwise it would have overflowed and that would not have been pretty. Yeah, the music here is very serene. I love the background, because it's an entire city in hell, pretty much. Got some neon telemetry, which is one of the drops that the enemies here can drop. Then the main thing here that you see, there's not too many enemy drops here, but it's cool like what the new enemies look like. They have a good bit of health. I imagine it'd be more of a late free-hard mode than what I'm currently progressed at. Usually you go to the underworld post Skeletron, so post dungeon, because you come here after you get the Shadow Key. I'm just down here because having an elevator is nice for later on. You can see I am failing to use my new rocket launcher. It doesn't work on platforms, sadly, but otherwise it'd be a bit... I don't know actually. It just doesn't work on platforms. But yeah, there's this new thing here, which you'll see in a moment. But let's talk about this currency. It's called Hard Light. You might see every time I kill an enemy, there's two things that drop. A white sort of light and a yellow light. I believe the yellow is stellar nova energy, and that's what charges the stellar nova. Besides its natural regen outside of combat, or inside of combat. Outside it goes down. I don't think there's any like usable down here. But Hard Light is the other one. It's a currency you can have up to 25,000. Later on, I get something that tracks how much I have, and then you use it for stellar prisms, which you see in the moment. At the time, I had no clue what Hard Light was, or stellar prism, so I was like, ooh, what's this? And then I buy 50 million of them. You'll see what I mean. We got nothing much in these buildings. There's very little. Maybe you can like collect some cool resources with the blocks and buildings and whatnot. For some reason I cannot break that for whatever reason. But yeah. I probably should start breaking the blocks below it. Anyways. Let's get to these prisms, and here we are. That is a stellar prism. Pretty much you click on it, you buy it. I didn't realize I was buying it, so I was like, oh, let me get as many of these as I can. And I got a bunch of them. Which, really at most, you should only get 3 of them or more. I was like, oh wait, it's infinite. It was not infinite. So I bought a bunch, I just left them there. Later on, you do use the neon telemetry that these enemies drop. Currently, not too much use for them. It's a bit hard to navigate because there's a lot of walls and buildings and whatnot down here. But most biomes are like that to begin with, so it's bearable. Less mining at least. I really like how they do the holographic trees and whatnot. Here is another one. My inventory is full, so yeah. I need more hard light. They each cost 100, all of them cost the same, and they'll randomize every time. Okay, I pick up some of these. And then, yeah. Pretty much, I go on and explore the rest of the place. I'll just let this one. I'll probably stop talking because there's not much else to comment on down here. And then next, after we finish this, I'll skip to the next time we do something cool. And we're back once more. Last section for today's video. It'll be shorter than yesterday, episode 2, which is nice. Surprised that I managed to cut so much out, but hey, all for the cause, I guess. A lot of bugs. I don't know why there's so many bugs outside. There's like 10 million flies. Usually I don't see this many. But, like, in-game, not IRL. Luckily. But we did some more mining. We got Hellstone. We got full molten armor, more defense, more damage. It's melee based, so my Wolfsbane melee attack should do more damage. Currently, we're heading to night because the next boss, the Thespian something alchemist, he is the next boss, modded boss to fight. And yeah, he only spawned tonight. I believe we got his summon after fighting the Vagrant Space and Time, Perseus. But yeah, let's try out this new boss. Thespian, active alchemy. Wow. Very chaotic off the bat. When I was doing this, I was so confused on how to dodge the attacks and what the attacks were doing. But let me try that again. If I don't, let me check if I try that again. I don't think I do. But yeah, as you can see, much more chaotic. There's so much more going on, and it's still telegraphed. All those moves are telegraphed, but I'll have to get better at figuring that out. But yeah, that's probably where we're gonna. Actually, I don't have obsidian. That's why I don't have molten armor. You need a lot of obsidian for that. Anyways, that will be cutting off today's video on the shorter side, which I'm happy for. Not short, but shorter side, relatively. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. have a good day.